would be great. I don't know. We're not hearing that. All right, what a wonderful buzz in this room. Yeah. Yay, there's a buzz. Everybody feeling safe? Safe and sound? Good. Thank you. Those watching online, we'll be right with you. That beginning video. Bling, 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 bling. Here's a place
where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through this door.
Great song, The Grace of God, as we are here this morning.
Sometimes we drift into the night like a sheep without a shepherd, and then it comes, we find a light, a love that brings us all together. The grace of God, the face of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life. The grace of God, the face of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life. We wander off, we disbelieve the love of God that lives in you and me. Harassed and torn by earthly greed, we seek the spirit that will set us free. The grace of God, the face of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life. The grace of God, the face of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life. There's not a place that we can go where God is not already waiting there. From mountain high to valley low, the miracle of love is everywhere. The grace of God, the face of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life. The place of God, the place of God, the place of God is in my life. God is in my life, is in my life. God is in my life.
Give yourselves a hand. I feel so good in here today.
Well, good morning, Unity.
Hello, Arnell.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Live at Unity here in the sanctuary. And for all of you people out there in Zoom, we are happy to be together once again. My name is Ardell McCoy, and I will be the ministerial host today. The The service, Sunday service today, Reverend Paula is away, but she always leaves us in good hands. And today it is the Tom Baker. Unity is a positive, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and practicing affirmative prayer. We believe Jesus was a master teacher who was here to express his divine potential, but to also teach us that we too had divine potential. He was not the exception, he was the example. So we are all included in that. We are also an inclusive community where everyone is welcome, regardless to racial identity, gender, religious, or political identity. Everyone is welcome here at Unity. So let's get started. Please join me in raising your activated consciousness to recite our vision statement. Together, a spiritually awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. And our mission statement, we personalize this to transform lives that transform the world. So let's settle in while I do a little bit of a lasered opening prayer. How grateful I am to be standing here in this sanctuary today with a mask off and with people around. To be here fully orbed and fully present, knowing that there is one life, that life is God, that is my life, that is your life, that's the only life. Every life, every plant, animal, and person is expressing the life of God. There's no separation, there's no otherness, there's just the one. So standing here firmly rooted in my sense of knowing that I am one with this infinite present that is omniactive, omniscient, everywhere, and everything is love-based. I speak a word for this service knowing it is great, grand, and glorious, and Tom Baker is bringing forth that message as he stands here to allow the spirit within to come forth and bring us each the message we are here to be hearing. I'm knowing that the music ministry is here to sing that song or let the song sing them, for they are our community. The ministries here, the bookstore, Reverend Paula, right where she is, everybody is blessed to be part of Unity Renaissance as we grow and expand. As we've seen this building push out to the other side, we're knowing that it is something happening here, and it's happening because it is God-based, God-centered, and everything that comes forth is coming forth for the highest good of each and every one of us that brings our time and our talent and our tithes to this center. So I'm grateful to speak this word. I surrender it into the law of divine activity where it cannot return void. It is done here and now, and I call it good and very good. And so it is. Amen.
Let's give Ardell a standing ovation as we get ready for and remain standing. Now this is a call and response. We haven't been able to do this in so long because we haven't had anybody to respond. So y'all respond to it. 1, 2, 3.
I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being.
Now you sing it.
I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being.
Next part of the affirmation.
I can create anything I want this life.
Sing it.
I can create anything I want this life.
Here's my favorite.
The universe is on my side and I am love. The universe is on my side and I am love.
All right, now you gotta find somebody you love. We're gonna speak these affirmations to them like this.
You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You know,
To them like you mean it.
you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You can create anything you want this life.
Like you mean it.
You can create anything you want this life. The universe is on your side and you are love. The universe is on your side and you are love.
Here's Ardell to introduce the divinity salute. Here she goes.
Divine love together. Divine love through me.
And
We serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
All right, now we're going to sing We Are with no call and response. You're going to sing it with us. You ready?
All together. We are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. We can create anything we want this life. The universe is on our side and we are loved. The universe is on our side and we are loved. We are loved. You are loved. I am loved.
Beautiful affirmation to start this day.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Woo! It is awesome to be here with other people here. It is just so cool. You know, last week I was watching online and boy, I almost burst into tears a half a dozen times just seeing all the people who are here in the sanctuary, you know. So it is beautiful to see your faces, and to those of you at home, I've been amongst you, you know, and it is great energy here, but I know it can be great energy out there too. So, you know, it is wonderful to be a part of community and share together this morning. My name is Heidi Kohlberg, and I am an energized, enthusiastic member of Unity Renaissance. And we're going to talk about our daily word today. So our word for today is faith. Please join me in our affirmation together. My faith keeps me focused on God. I may not be able to control what happens around me, but I am always free to choose what happens within me. My perception determines my experience. I begin with faith. I choose to see the vibrant wholeness that is present even during illness. I open my heart and mind to the harmony that I know is possible even in the midst of apparent discord. When my need appears greater than my resources, I remind myself that all supply springs forth from the inexhaustible well of divine substance. I'm reassured by remembering all situations are temporary and God is greater than any circumstance. Through my faith, I align my thoughts with the divine and believe in the truth that sets me free. And today's reading was inspired by the scripture verse, Luke 17, verse 6, chapter 17, verse 6. If you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry tree, "Be uprooted and planted in the sea," and it would obey you. If you would like to pray today, if you would like prayer support, I encourage you all to pray today. But if you'd like prayer support, we have prayer chaplains available for you after the service. So for those who are present, we have Deb Ami is our prayer chaplain today, and she'll be with you afterwards, out in the Northex or out in the chapel, I believe. For those viewing online, you may receive support via Zoom after the service. Just go to www.zoom.us and type in the meeting ID that I believe is on the screen. So in 898-3416-0734. You'll be able to meet with chaplain in a breakout room, so you'll have personal prayer online or in person. So you can also fill out a prayer request in the Northex or online. Thank you for letting me be of service and being here with you today. And would you please rise and join in the Lord's Psalm?
Holy Creator, we praise your name, your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power and praise, when you began and with you stays. Holy Creator,
Our Father,
we praise
who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
our needs, Lord.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgave also our debtors.
Lead us away.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
For all the kingdom, power and praise, when you began and with you stays. Amen. Amen. Please be seated.
Beautiful, beautiful job, guys.
When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder, what celestial rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder, what credit can I take? But in the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. 'Cause when I think about the moment, 'cause my life is in good hands. I don't need to know where the wind blows, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future future holds, 'cause God knows I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows.
Still I find I'm crying out for answers. Guess I'm still craving control. And still I find I'm afraid of taking chances, as if I could damage my soul. But at this moment I remember, it comes so clear to me, that the minute I surrender, I'm as safe as I could be. I don't need to know where the time goes, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends.
I can just let go.
Oh, I can just let go.
I can just let go, 'cause God knows. God knows. God knows.
Lily Scott and Nicholas Hill. Wasn't that awesome? Give them a hand.
All stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The story you tell your children, the story you tell your loved ones, and the story of your life has a beginning, a middle, and an end. For instance, the story of Cinderella. In the beginning, Ella is down in the basement with the furnace. She is covered with cinders, thus Cinderella. She's really named Ella. An announcement arrives that there's going to be a ball, and Ella is invited because the prince is in the market for a bride. Then the fairy godmother appears with glass slippers and a coach with white horses and a gown for Ella, who looks as pretty as a peach when she's all dressed up. In the middle of the story, Cinderella goes to the ball and dances with the prince all night, and he is stricken with love for her. Oh. She almost forgets the time, but is able to leave before midnight. And in her hurry, she leaves a glass slipper on the stairs, a calling card of sorts. She gets home just as the carriage turns to a pumpkin, and her attendants turn to mice. But she still has one glass slipper which she hides in her purse. That's the middle of the story. The end of the story is when the prince comes with one glass slipper and sees Cinderella with its mate. She puts it on, they kiss, and they live happily ever after, and that's the end. Or is it? Happily ever after, no doubt, is complicated. With Cinderella in therapy with PTSD from abuse by her stepsisters, and the prince in a men's group complaining about Cinderella's shoe fetish as she collects pair after pair of designer shoes. So there really is no ending, just a continuing. The modern story of death that science tells says we are born, we live, and then we die. We begin, we endure, and then we end, and it's oblivion. What began with water and agony ends with agony and dust. Science tells us that our beginning is by chance and our ending is by accident. Science gives us a meaningless and small story of our life in the absence of God. Yet we do not experience ending as much as we experience the conclusion of one thing and the beginning of another. All seeming endings are the beginnings of something else. We finish college and we start a degree. We finish addiction and we start a life. We finish a life and we begin a spiritual reflection on that life. Death is not the end. Death is a change from physical life to spiritual life. The difference between this life and the next is that in the next life, instead of fear and isolation, we see in terms of joy and relationship. That's why, I promise, death will be the happiest day of your life. Ooh. The old story, the religious fairy tale that we're told about death, meant that it was an ending that involved two extremes. Either you go to the golden streets of heaven, Christians only, or suffered forever on the scorched plains of hell, everyone else. In the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church added purgatory as a kind of drafty front porch stuck on the front of the solid house of heaven. If you had gone to another church this morning, you likely would hear something like this. If you offend God, if you make the Almighty angry, He will squash you like a bug. You've heard that, at least the tone of voice. This is the age-old Christian strategy of scaring people into good behavior. When I was studying to be a priest, a fellow seminarian came into my room one day to tell me how sorry he was for my parents. I asked, alarmed, what had happened to my parents. My fellow seminarian said that because they weren't Catholic, they would be going to hell. He was sorry. I was furious. How dare you send my parents to hell? They're sweet people. How dare you send anybody to hell? At one way or another, at one time or another, they were sweet people. Hell is more like our criminal justice system than anything like God. Christian death and its consequences is a harrowing experience. So you're probably wondering, what is the other side really like? Well, I'm here to tell you. I have talked with about 50 people who've had near-death experiences. I've read the work of Edgar Cayce, Michael Newton, and others who have researched the afterlife, and I've had a few of my own mystical experiences. So the afterlife, for one thing, has colors that are brilliant, the music is bright, and there is a relief having completed a life. Most of us are pretty burned out, especially if we're old, by the end of our life. Sometimes your relatives and friends give you a standing ovation for a life well done, a life well lived. Then there's the review of your life with an emphasis on your loving acts and intentions. They're very interested in what you did right rather than what you did wrong. The afterlife is a bit different than marriage. And you return to your soul group. Your soul group is made up of the people you really clicked with in this life and in other lifetimes. In past life regressions I've conducted, people often weep when they come to their soul groups. The people who have been mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, husbands and wives, lovers and friends, people you meet in this life and it feels like you've known them forever. You remember those people. They're your spiritual buds. You probably know some of your spiritual buddies here at Unity. We've all known each other before. And like the song says that we sang, we dearly love one another. Although the details we have forgotten, the essence shines through. Look around the room just for a minute. Everyone is in costume. Strange costumes, some of you. Others sort of pretty costumes. But the essence shines through. We've all known each other before. We love each other completely. Then we go before a council of elders who encourage us and give us tips on how we can live a more fulfilling life. Next time. No judgment. Simply a gentle, loving assessment of how we're doing in our journey as a soul. Then we take classes with teachers like Reverend Paula. We dance to music led by extraordinary musicians like Reverend Richard and the music team, of course. And we constantly give each other the Christ salute. The Christ in me greets the Christ in you, and we are very, very happy. Then we wash each other's spiritual feet and hold each other's spiritual hands. In short, we are happy together. Then we plan our next life, lining up spiritual lessons and embedding in our consciousness cues to recognize soulmates and spiritual contacts. Now, everyone always asks, why was I born to my family? I seem a stranger there. My mother didn't always seem like my mother. My father didn't always seem like a good father. Some people seem to get luckier. I would say that the soul is extremely optimistic. The soul sees everything in terms of possibilities. So when it comes here, even when the parents or the situation isn't perfect, or if it's rather iffy, the soul says we can make it. We can make something good out of this situation. Your soul tells you that all through life. That's why you keep going. When you don't feel like keeping going, the soul probably has retracted some bit. But you keep going because the soul says you can. Then we parachute into planet Earth and incarnate, crying our heads off, in effect saying, I hope I made the right decision to be born into this scary place. Walter Russell, the Virginia mystic, said that being born for the soul is more frightening than death for us on earth. That going from spirit to earth was like moving from a 5-star hotel on the French Riviera to a tent in Siberia. Now notice, I said we plan our next life. You heard that, didn't you? Reincarnation seems to be a fact of life. We have lived lives on earth over hundreds of thousands of years. Reincarnation is a belief that the Unity Church does not insist upon, but it's open to. I would say that somewhere in your deep memory, you too believe in reincarnation. I once asked my Catholic congregation how many believe that purgatory and even hell were really lived out in our life on the earth. And the people looked startled, but about a third of them raised their hands. How many of you think the same thing? That we're really living out a kind of purgatory or even hell here on earth? Whoa. And what happened in my congregation is that everybody laughed nervously. Catholics were always laughing nervously because they were guilty and a little scared. They thought it was a trick question, maybe. But I think maybe that laughter was almost saying, we've played a trick on ourselves here on earth. We're enduring what we refused to endure last time. In a way, it was a trick question in that it got people thinking about karma without naming it. Karma is the Hindu belief that we live out the consequential results of our unloving behavior and attitudes. In other words, I feel and experience this time what I did to others in other lifetimes. If I broke your heart in one life, I might feel the pain of your broken heart in this life. This also explains why old souls have so much empathy for others and even a fear of being ungentle with anyone in this life. I would further say that codependence is sometimes the psychological malady of older souls. Codependence is when you help the other person too much and they take advantage of you. Unity churches are often full of old souls. Poor things. So dying is no problem. When we save a life, we're not really saving a life. Life never ends, but we're extending the incarnation. But I would say that heaven is right here and right now. Instead of being purgatory or hell, it can be heaven. The universe is happy. I had a mystical experience once in which I saw everything filled with light. And as I looked at everything filled with light, that was the grass, the walk, the fence, the barn, the trees, even the barbed wire fence was happy. It was full of light and it was happy. Everything is happy. The chairs you're sitting on are happy. The roof and its creaking and settling is happy. The plants outside the windows, the poor earth that we beat up upon, the stars that peek through to us at night, they're all happy. I've been astounded by the happiness of everything that is. Now, everyone stand up. If you can. You can sit if you can't. There you go, Joyce. You're going to make it. There, yes, you made it. Good. Okay. Now, my experiences have taught me that when you love one another, when you connect with each other, you feel that love and that happiness. Now, you don't have to hold hands if you don't want to. I realize you may be afraid of catching the virus from other people, but just kind of open up and spread your arms. There you go. When we connect in love, we can feel the happiness that we are, the love that connects with love that is stronger than death. Your unhappiness, keep going, your unhappiness draws you in. Feel that sadness drawing you in. When you just imagine when you were sad. You can draw in. Draw in. You feel depressed. You feel unhappy. Oh no, life isn't going the way I want it to. And then something happens. You see someone you love. Someone sees you. They stretch out to you. They hold a hand. You go out again. Your happiness inspires you to extend. You think of Heidi Kolber. Yeah. You think of Ardell and her prayers. Woo! Yeah, you think of me. Okay, yeah, good. You reach out and you extend your joy. You do not die, and in love you join. Life is forever, and love is its eternal heartbeat. All right, everybody be seated. But keep feeling the energy in your heart, energy in your chest, energy in your arms, in your head, in your feet, in your legs. Keep feeling that energy. As you go inside now, inside to your heart, which is deep and touches your soul. Go into that place where your happiness has been untouched by the sorrow of the world. Go into that place where you are innocent and hopeful and joyful, where all is very, very well. Close your eyes, be still and be quiet. now come to the surface. Like a child waking up on a summer morning, looking out into the world and looking up into the sky, knowing that adventure awaits. Your life awaits. The afterlife awaits. Eternity awaits. All is happy, all is joined, and all is well.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Well, I said Reverend Paula always leaves us with a dynamic speaker, and today it was the Tom Baker. So let's give him a hand. Absolutely fabulous. Spirit got a hold of you today, that's for sure. So it's now time for our love offering. And we now have a basket in the back, so as you leave, you can make your contribution there. But if you're a techie person and you want to do it by the smartphone, you can text GIVE, and the number is
540-418-1228. Text now.
or you can download Tithely app. So there's plenty of ways to give. So if together we want to do our offertory blessing together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Back in good measure, it's given back to you.
Get your Boyd on this song. Thank you very much, Tom. That was awesome. The song's called Decision of the Soul.
Have you ever wondered why some men crawl and some men fly? It's a decision of the soul. Life is always what you make it. You can live or you can fake it. It's a decision of the soul. Anytime you're rearranging, it's the soul that does the changing. Listen to me now. You can use your inspiration to extend your limitations. It's a decision of the soul. All right. When your life is rearranging, it's the soul that does the changing.
Life's a book, so turn the pages. Seek the wisdom of the ages. It's a decision of the soul. It's a decision of the soul. It's a decision of the soul.
Boy Black. It's announcement time.
So I want to welcome all people that are returning for the first or second time. If you'd like to put your hand up and we can see who you are. And like to say, as you're leaving today, there's a teal bag if this is your first time, and an orange bag if it's your second time. So they're outside in the narthex when you leave. They will definitely give you your bag. So welcome, and we hope to see you again.
Wonderful to have multiple hands, coming for the first, second, or third time. It's awesome to have you all here. So, we are continuing our diaper drive, our no child or adult wet behind. We are continuing to accept diapers of all sizes to help ensure that anyone who needs a diaper has access to them. And that'll continue through June 13th.
So there's another book study getting started, and it's going to start on June 2nd, Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Reverend Paula will be conducting it. And it is a book called Living the Mystical Life Today. It is by Jim Rosemergy, and I kind of thumbed through the book. It looks like it's going to be interesting. So you can sign up in the narthex. There's a tablet there where you can sign up, or you can sign up on the website. So everybody's welcome to sign up. I imagine it's a love offering, but don't let that stop you.
So, and speaking of classes, Reverend Richard is going to be starting a 5-week class on Tuesday nights starting June 15th. Lessons in Truth is based on the book by Emily Cady, and that's one of the most foundational, unity books. And so this will present a deep dive into those basics with Reverend Richard. He's doing it in person as well as online. So in person will be here in the fellowship hall. Online, you'll get the information when you register for the class. So you can either register in the narthex or in one of the sign-up sheets, or register online. So, Reverend Richard, thank you.
Join us.
Okay, next Sunday is Multi-Generational Sunday. You need to sign up to make your reservations for the seating here in the sanctuary. But the theme of this service will be Stand By Me. And if you remember the song by Benny E. King, it was Stand By Me. So this should be a very interesting service with our youth ed coming in to help with this service. So it's something good. And as you leave today, if you'd like to see the new classrooms, they've been all set up in the new wing. Bea and Lisa are available to give you a tour. You can walk through, ask questions, see where your kids will be when they're coming back to service. So please avail yourself of that tour. I think that's it.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Okay. So we can do our prayer for protection and sing out. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God protects us, the power of God protects us, wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace make it. You can live or you can fake it. It's a decision of the soul. Anytime you're rearranging, it's a soul that does the changing. You can use your inspiration to extend your limitations. It's a decision of the soul. It's a decision of the soul.